Good morning. Uh, I'm Lo. Welcome. This is Refine the Machine. The last video was the diet of the mind, and I write notes. I outline everything, and I try to be concise and make it as easy or free flowing as possible. But sometimes I miss things, and in the last video, I feel like I missed some very key points. So I'm just going to go through a few, and hopefully they're helpful. Hopefully they expound upon the mind is complex. So by trying to even condense this into a 10-minute, 5 minutes, it's crazy. You could do this for 24 hours, years. People are still trying to figure this out. They don't know what consciousness is. We're still figuring this out. But I just wanted to go through some more practical ideas that may help to make more sense of this. So, number one, this is your home. Your mind and your body are your home for now. We're here. We're in here. That's why it's important to take care of it. It's important to work on refining it, and understanding what this is important. So that's why I think is my motive is to just improve and keep my mind and body as healthy as possible for as long as I can. And I do anything that I feel necessary to do that. That can be reading, writing, working out, eating right. These things, everything has a nature to it that is dual. So everything that's applicable to the mind is also applicable to the body, and vice versa. So we just have to think like that. And second point, your mind is a receiver. It receives information, and not directly like what I talked about in the last video. It receives it also from your senses, yes, but also through another form. Like when you have a flash of an idea, sometimes we take in information through unknown sources. Ideas are like popping in and out. And I think that's a part of how people come up with the same idea at the same time, and they've never talked or ever communicated it. I think it's an interesting thing. Nikola Tesla talked about it, the mind being a receiver. It's also a radio. It transmits. And it doesn't have to transmit the way that I speak or body language or anything like that. It could be an unconscious transmission. I don't understand it. I've just felt it and been a part of it so many times that it's hard to ignore it. And I know a lot of people say, well, the science, who cares, man? Like, the science will catch up eventually, I think. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's a real phenomena, and it happens a lot. So your mind receives these things, ideas and inspiration and imagination. Sometimes we synthesize them through a variety of sources, and that's also a form of creation. So that brings me to number 3, is writing your thoughts and ideas and goals on paper, planning, just capturing things and putting them where they belong. That way you put your mind here onto a piece of paper here, and that allows you to organize a little better. It gives you more of a foundation. It also allows you to go back and keep track of how you were thinking at a particular time. If you write dates on things, keep track of when and what you were feeling during that time. And also just to fulfill things. Having it on paper allows it to be more concrete. It's like a second mind once you start putting things into a different avenue. So you can do it on paper, you can do it through your phone, you can use a note app, something just to keep track and capture what comes in or what you're thinking at the time. It's so powerful. It's a powerful practice. And then number 4, I talked about the observation of others and yourself, mostly in a way just to help you, help me, help us, just to know what we're being influenced by. But there's also a very important part, is inspiration and admiration. Now, by looking towards people that you would aspire to be like, if you see somebody doing something amazing, you can be like that. If something really sparks something in you, that's a fuel for you. And then on the flip side, well, that's something to aim towards. And on the flip side, there are things that we want to aim away from. If you see someone doing something you don't like being mean to a waitress or something like that, you just do the opposite. We can't, we're not able to change people, but we can change the way we act, especially if it bothers us or triggers us in some way. So I always use that as a guide. Like when I see something I don't like, and I go, I don't want to be like that. So I just choose not to be like that. And that's as simple as it can be. You can lead by example and be the way that you think it should have been. Be nice to your waitresses and put your carts away when you're at a shop, like at a store buying groceries or whatever, like things like that. And just lead by example, do a little extra, just not show off, but just do it because it makes you feel good, and it's nice to those people who are so often disrespected and mistreated. And that applies in so many ways, and we could go on and on. Whatever we complain about can be a pivot of change for us. So I think like that. And then to the labeling, I thought after I listened to the last video, I missed a label that I think is very important. I said we all go through battles and we all have our storms and we all go through our wars, and that's a mental or a physical one. That could be addiction or depression or anything like that, grief. So we're all warriors in that same way. The same way we're scientists and artists, the same way we create an experiment, we also fight our battles internally. That's ubiquitous. I think that goes across all cultures, all generations, all whatever. Everyone's going through a battle of some sort, whether it's a battle of ideas, a battle of belief, a battle of who you were versus who you want to be. That's what we're going through. So I think it's important to label yourself as a warrior as well. And like I said, there's no limit to the labels you give yourself, but I think it's important to give yourself a lot of labels that are very empowering and broad. So you can come up with your own, whatever makes you do what you want to do, that is pushing you forward, propelling you. I think it's important for me to do that. And if you want, you can do that too. This is not prescription. I'm just giving out ideas of things that help me. So, I forget what number I'm on, but number. What do you want to do, and why do you want to do it? And what don't you want to do? And this comes down to willpower. What are you willing to do to get what you want, or to do what you want, and to find your why and to pursue that? I think everything that we do requires a certain sacrifice, and sometimes the sacrifice is a mental sacrifice. It's a simple sacrifice of taking yourself and changing how you feel about doing something. And then that's where self-discipline comes in. Because what you will do is your willpower. This is not the want power, because you want things, we all want things. It's what will you do, the willpower. So this is where having habits, changing your habits and doing things small and incrementally is so vital, because as you grow and as you learn, you will start ramping up, and it's okay to start infinitesimally small. I don't know if infinitesimally. I don't know, that's a cool word, but I don't think I pronounced it right. So it's about committing to something and knowing what will you do. So everything has a price. Every prize has a price. So if you want to get in shape, you have to put yourself through some pain, through some discomfort. You need to sacrifice some time in order to expend energy, to do some push-ups or pull-ups. Or if you wanted to learn music, you need to get familiar with a guitar or a piano. And each of these things have a point of pain in them. Even reading, each thing has a point of pain. Like your fingers will hurt if you play a steel string guitar or a bronze string. I don't know what kind of strings they use, but I think it's bronze. And then if you're using a piano, you have to stretch your fingers out real wide, And if you're reading, you have to make focus. You need to get rid of the distraction and be able to sit there and actually read and ingest what you're reading and taking notes or whatever's uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable for me, but I choose to do it because I feel it's important. So I will continue to do it because that's what I feel. Even though it makes me very uncomfortable, I go through the discomfort in order just to get this out, you know? So everything has a sacrifice and a price, and every prize has a price. So we just to understand. Another number, create rules and rewards for yourself. That's part of self discipline. So if you're going through your day and you do something you think is awesome, reward yourself. Literally just shout if you're by yourself, if you're comfortable with that. If you're with other people and you're okay doing that, then just yell, man. Just let it out. If you've been eating good all week and you feel like it's time, you can give yourself a nice little treat, you know? And things taste sweeter. Things are sweeter once you restrict yourself from them for a while. Even rest is sweeter if you're active. So I think it's important to do a reward system with yourself. Create rules and structure for yourself. That way you're able to commit and do things, you know? And also it feels good when you reward yourself for doing something good. Commitment is the igniter of motivation. So if you feel like you're lacking motivation, just commit to something and make it so small that it feels impossible not to do, and hold yourself accountable to that, because not many other people will hold you accountable, and if no one knows what you're actually doing, there's no way for anyone to hold you accountable. So just create this structure for yourself, reward yourself, and then you'll feel it makes you feel really good just to get something done. It gives you a self-confidence in order to fulfill whatever that goal was that you had. But now it's easy. I'm sorry. It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. It's hard, but the opposite is also hard. So someone said, choose your heart. It's hard to be in shape. It's hard to be out of shape. It's hard to read. It's hard not to read. There's again, the price and the prize thing. It's easy to do. It's easy not to do. It's a paradox. So we just have to make choices that facilitate our own growth and our own action. And then fill your mind with things that inspire you and things that you admire. I know I stumble or whatever, but that's, like I said, mistakes are the action, the smoke is the fire. That's my mantra, I guess. So you fill your things with things that inspire you, that you admire, things that you aim towards. I aim towards so many people. I see people. I love working out and staying in shape. I like nutrition. I love music. I love art. I love so many things. The beauty of things. So I try to aim towards that. People with caring, nurturing spirits. I try to embody that and emulate it. I don't imitate, but I emulate it. I try to aim towards it in a way that's productive and original. So as we go on, as I go on, I just keep aiming higher and higher and higher, and it almost feels always out of reach, but I think that's good. It's good to aim high and just keep things just above your head. It's a challenge. It gives you a flow, you know? You just keep pushing and pushing. And then everything is energy again. Everything is energy. Your thoughts are energy. The things around you are energy. So by taking in good energy, you will be putting out good energy. By letting good energy into you and letting it reverberate in your mind, you will be putting out more good energy. So I try to curate everything and everyone around me to try and make the best energy possible. And like I said in the last video, sometimes you're just in environments and situations where it's unavoidable, but we have to be able to go through it and go home, let go, and just rebalance and recalibrate ourselves. So I think that is so important. Um, I feel like I missed something else, but this was my list I had. So hopefully that helped for the diet of the mind or refinement of the mind. I think that, like I said, everything has a dual nature. Anything that applies to the mind applies to the body. Anything that applies to the body applies to the mind. So I think the most important thing is just to understand how we're going through our days, how we commit to something and we actually do it instead of giving ourselves outs and excuses. Sometimes there is a valid excuse, like you're injured, so you shouldn't work out, you should really rest. Or you're really in a funk and you don't want to put that energy out there. That's okay. You just give yourself some breaks, forgive yourself, and just keep moving. Eventually, everything becomes a little easier, a little more manageable. Um, like I said, I get really uncomfortable, but it's okay because this is just what I was compelled to do. So, on that note, I hope everyone has a great week. I'm gonna release this as fast as possible. So if it's the morning, have a great day. If it's the middle of the day, have a great rest of the day. If it's nighttime, well, get some rest, and I hope tomorrow is a even better day. And I want to leave with one more thing. There's a quote, and it is, "In every day, in every way, I am getting better and better, and you are getting better and better." I want you to truly embody that and feel that, and allow yourself to do that. Aim towards a higher self. Aim towards your ideal, and just go through your day and maybe take a few of these and try to apply them to yourself. I'm not saying this is prescription. You can take and leave whatever you want, but hopefully there's a seed or a germ of an idea in here that can help with I don't know, fulfilling something you would like to do or acting a little more in the way you would like to act. Like I said, these rules are things that I've created and learned, and they've helped me tremendously. So, like I said, have a good day. Talk to you next time. Next video is on physical diet, which is one of my passions. So, hopefully, that will help people who are looking for a different way of eating or just understanding a few of the mechanisms behind diet. All right. So, peace. Until next time.